Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. This is Lola. I know some of you have seen her. I thought you'd like to meet her before we get on and cook. I've got two delicious recipes for you today. An orecchiette dish, which is in a Tuscan pasta with fennel, chili and wild garlic. And then we've got some Nordic style breads with wild garlic butter and parmesan. Okay, first recipes taken from my new book, Peter Sidwell's Kitchen. This came out towards the end of last year. It's absolutely jam-packed full of over 100 recipes taken from the show. And today, we're gonna cook this one, orecchiette with finocchiuna. Now, finocchiuna is a Tuscan-style salami. It's got fennel, garlic, and chili. So I've kind of taken that flavor profile and we've applied it to wild garlic, which is just so nice. Bang in season at the moment. Get yourself out there, go pick it, give it a good wash, and then you're ready to cook. But don't worry, if you're watching this out of season, later on in the year, or you don't have wild garlic, just switch it out for the traditional bulb, and it'll be absolutely fine. Okay, so, I don't need that, I can remember the recipe. So, orecchiette, so our Booths is my local supermarket, so I just nipped down, bought a few bits and bobs to make this dish, picked my wild garlic, and we're good to go. So, this is orecchiette. Okay, it used to be really rare. You didn't used to get it, but now it's so common. You can get it in all the supermarkets. Can you see that, Carlos? So they're like little ears and they kind of hold all the sauce in the pasta. It's lovely, but you can make it with anything. All right, into a pan of water, salted boiling water for 9 minutes. And 9 minutes will give us just enough time to be able to make the sauce. So I've got my Masterclass cast aluminium 4-litre shallow pan in our new colour, aubergine. Aubergine? Yeah. I say aubergine. New colour, it's nice. Little silver top to it. Love these pans, you know I do. Get them nice and hot. Okay, first of all, this is the one, the fennel, the bulb of fennel, takes the most amount of cooking, so it's the first thing to go in the pan. So take the bottom off. Cut it down the middle, and then you've got a little bit of a core there. We want to get rid of that because it doesn't really cook down much, all right? This fennel's kind of doing what an onion would do at the start of a sauce, okay? So, but it's just got an incredible flavour. Do you use fennel much in Spain? No, not really? I love fennel. I'm a little bit obsessed with it, if I'm brutally honest. I love it raw, I love it cooked, and I spent loads of time in Tuscany and they just use it because it grows everywhere, just on the side of roads, so it's like, well, it's free, so we'll use it. But the bulb, just dice it like you would an onion. Nice and fine, okay? Really nice and fine. It's super good for your fennel as well. Now remember, if you fancy today's recipe, you've got two choices. You could buy the book, either from our website, or you can get it on Amazon or in your local bookstore, or you can sign up for our newsletter at petersidwell.com and we'll just email you the recipe straight to your inbox. It's up to you, but I would highly advise buying the book. It's got a lot of good recipes. It's got some very handsome men in it, hasn't it, Carlos?
Only two.
Yeah, yeah. Two handsome devils. Two handsome devils and a diva. Mind you, it's got Poppy and Thomas in as well, hasn't it? And Pip. Yeah. Yeah. Thomas is going to work that. I've seen him in action. He uses it to his advantage. Okay, so let's get a little bit of olive oil into the pan, okay? Don't need too much. Tablespoon. Get it started and then get your fennel straight in. That's the sound you want to hear. Okay, and then we're going to season it up with some salt. Why are we going to season it up with salt, Carlos?
To draw the moisture out.
Nice, yeah. So this will draw the moisture out and allow it to cook nice and evenly and to caramelize, not to scorch and fry. See, he listens to me.
Sometimes.
So just spread it out nice and fine. Give it a little shake. Nice thin surface area, that'll get the cooking going. Like red chili now. Fresh red chili. We're going to remove the seeds so it's not too hot. You could easily use dried chili flakes with this or chili oil if you haven't got fresh. But don't use like chili powder because it's just too aggressive. Doesn't matter how much or how little you use, it's still aggressive and fiery. Whereas fresh gives you a sort of fruity warmth, I think I'd like to call it, rather than heat and aggression. Okay. So that is our red chili. That can go straight in as well. Fennel seeds. So this is actually the seed. So when the fennel plant goes to flower and then it goes to seed, you get like little fresh fennel berries almost, we like to call them. They're not. They're the fresh seeds, but these are the dried ones. And we're just reinforcing that fennel flavour. Okay, now, Cumberland sausage. I'm going to put 2 or 3 in. If you're vegetarian or you don't eat pork, leave it out. You can add chicken sausages in there if you want to, or you could add nothing at all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need it, but I'm adding it in because it kind of adds that flavour profile that I'm trying to look at, which is I'm trying to create finacuna, which is a salami. So all I'm doing is cutting the skins out of 3 Cumberland sausage that I picked up this morning. Okay, that'll do. Right, just go and wash my hands. Right, okay. So use the back of your spoon and just break that sausage meat up. Okay. And this is how sort of like 3 sausages feeds 4 people. Okay, you don't need absolutely loads of meat in this. The sausage meat just gives a little bit of richness to it. And like I say before, if you don't eat pork sausages, don't add it in, or, you know, add a chicken sausage in. There's loads of that these days if you want to. Or just go vegetarian. Absolutely fine.
Could you use like a mince instead of sausage?
Yeah, you could if you wanted to. Minced pork never has as much flavour as sausage meat. And the fat ratios are slightly different. So it is a little bit different, but I would say if you don't want to add sausages, just go for it without. It's absolutely fine. You could add a few mushrooms in if you wanted that sort of meatiness, if you like. So now we've got like this sort of mince almost, if you like. So it's just seeping out that lovely flavour. Now, make a gap in the middle. I've got a little bit of salted butter here, 50 grams. Pop that in. And now we're sort of bringing it all together now. That butter is just going to kind of bring it all together. And what we're going to do is add some starch water from our pasta. Okay? So when your pasta is cooking, you'll find like little sort of white sort of bubbles that sort of gather at the top of the water. That is culinary gold, that stuff. And that's what makes your sauce really lovely. Can you see that, Carlos? I've just scooped that out of the pan and there's that sort of cloudy stuff there. Just pour it in. Crank the heat up and that silky, starchy water mixed with the butter and then all the ingredients in there is just going to be amazing. That's our sauce, okay? So we're just going to simmer this now. You see how sort of cloudy it's gone? And it's almost sort of creamy. So I'm just going to knock that down. Let's look at wild garlic. Now, if you haven't ever cooked with wild garlic before, that is what your leaf looks like, okay? And it's just got this wonderful kind of young, viney, green, garlicky flavour. It's like garlic as a herb rather than a bulb. It's lovely. And especially sort of end of March, just into April is when it's really young and tender. And you could literally probably eat it raw. It's like spinach. But then as the month of April moves on, it gets bigger, a bit tougher. That's when you need to cook it. Now, I've got a great way of preserving this stuff. Go into the woods, take a pair of scissors, take a little box with you, snip your wild garlic, pop it in your box and take it home. Wash it, dry it, and then blend it with a block of salted butter in the food processor. Then roll it up in parchment paper and you can pop it in the freezer, or you can cut it into slices and then freeze it in like a Ziploc bag, and then you've got it all year long, and just whack it into your pasta whenever you feel like it. So when you see it, grab it, wash it, and preserve it. Okay, so our wild garlic, I'm just going to slice it really, really nice and fine. And then the minute you start slicing it, that's when you smell that lovely, fresh, garlicky flavour. Absolutely love wild garlic. It's one of my favourite times of year. Okay, so our sauce is almost there. I'm actually just going to sneak a little bit more pasta water, because I've seen some of that lovely cloudy white starch forming on the top, and I absolutely want that in my dinner. There we go. That's what makes, you know, when you go to Italy and you like have the most amazing pasta dishes, and then you try and get home and try and replicate it, it's little things like that that they do that makes a big difference. No matter what pasta dish you're doing, that pasta water just kind of brings it all together and just makes it one. And that's what you want to look for. So our fennel is just cooked. Our sausage meat in there is all cooked. We've just got to wait for our orecchiette. Couple more minutes and we are ready to go. So while that's doing, I want some fresh Parmesan, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to grate some on here ready, and we're going to add that in, and that's going to give us a sort of, it's just going to add something to the sauce and give it like a little bit of richness. It's going to be lovely. Okay, pop that in. And then the rest we'll use for finishing at the end, because we all love a bit of Parmesan on the top, don't we, at the end? But that's almost like, you would think there's cream in that sauce, but there isn't. It's just starch, water, butter, a little bit of Parmesan, and that is it. Right, let's have a little test of our pasta, see where we're at. Are you a 9-minute cooker, Carlos? Yeah. Good. Right. So for me, try that, Carlos. See what you think. I think a lot of people would think that's undercooked. But for me, that's bang on.
Got the bite.
It's got a bite. That's exactly what it's got, yeah. So, let's just make a little bit of space. And don't forget, it's then going to go into a sauce. Okay? So, straight into my colander. I'm saving all that water just in case I need it. All right? Don't let it go to waste. You never know. You might just need it. All right? And it helps keep the pasta warm. And then in it goes. All the pasta straight in. Little slug of pasta water as well, just for good measure. Let's crank the heat up. And let's stir all this together. So super simple. This is a 15-minute dinner, all right? It doesn't take any longer to make this than it takes for the pasta to cook. So all you've got is to boil a pan of water, cook the pasta for 9 minutes. You should be eating this within 15 minutes of thinking of cooking it, yeah? So there's no reason. In with the wild garlic. Oh, now we're talking. I'm going to just salvage all that wild garlic and all those little Parmesan bits in there. And there we go. Have you tried this before, Carlos?
No, I never tried it.
You're in for a treat. You are in for a treat. There we go. Right. That's it. It's made. It's done. It's ready. Let's get one of our lovely new little pasta bowls. Just in case you wanted to meet a little somebody. Look at our brand new member of the family. Hello, Lola. You okay? She's scooting around looking for food. Bless her. It's lovely to have a dog in the house again. It really is. Okay. She's off. There we go. These are our lovely new pasta dishes that have just come out with Macassar. Absolutely love them. We've got a set at home next door. Every single one is different, and we love that. None of our stuff matches in our house. Everything is different. and that's just our style, but there's so many cool new bowls. Finish with as much fresh Parmesan as you like. How much do you like, Carlos? Loads.
I can't help myself now, but...
Oh, there we go. Look at that. That is a beautiful pasta dish made with wild garlic picked from the woods down the road with fennel, chili and Parmesan. A delicious pasta dish. While me and Carlos took into this, let me show you how to make a lovely Nordic style bread knot with Parmesan and wild garlic butter. To make these wild garlic breads, get your flour, dried yeast and salt into a mixing bowl, add your water, bit of olive oil and mix it all together. Knead it for 10 minutes till it's really nice and smooth and stretchy. Then return it to an oil bowl and let it prove to double in size. Now that the bread's proved, scoop it out into a worktop and roll it out into a nice big rectangle, about 1/2 centimetre thick. Then on with your wild garlic butter, fresh Parmesan, then you want to fold it over. Cut it into 2 centimetre wide strips and then roll it round your hand and then tuck it under itself. And that'll create your kind of Nordic style knot, which is really trendy these days in bakeries. Let them prove, double in size and then bake until golden. That is absolutely delicious. You have got to give this a try. Get yourself out on a walk, find some wild garlic and make this dish. And if you've already got our book, what page is it, Carlos?
90.
Go to page 90. Get it out and cook this dish. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next episode.